Cecil, stop.
We are live on the YouTube.
Cecil, stop. That's a good way to start this. Cecil, stop. Right, Cecil? Cecil, stop.
That's about how it usually goes, I think.
Oh, he's just got a thing about going after my watch right now. I have no idea. You know, they get these fixations, and especially this guy. I'm sure he would like the boat. That's the kind of thing he would be going for. Right? But who are you going to hit with it? You know, in that short video I put up, well, I think it's about 7 minutes long, but it's all the early, well, not all, but most of the early videos from before the fire. There is a scene in there where Cecil was actually using that little boat on Murray. I've talked about it, but it's actually in there. An actual video of him using the boat to get Murray off the cage. Unfortunately, the end of that video somehow isn't there, which showed him throwing the boat away when he was done. That was just the oddest thing. Goes and gets it. Tosses it.
Going on.
That's quite a bunch of stuff you got there, Anna-Marie. Anna-Marie.
I hope the people will like it and maybe take part or participate in the raffle.
Yeah, it looks like wonderful stuff. I think that turtle is just adorable. It definitely reminds me of Peaches. It looks very peachy.
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to see it with the blanket under it, but it has basically, not fully, but the orange peachy colors she had in her crest.
And it looked like it had kind of googly eyes as well, like she had.
It has. It is really cute. It really reminds one when one knows the peach on her.
Oh, it was wonderful. So everybody buy lots of raffle tickets.
Yeah, and some of the birds will then take the raffle and see who wins.
Is Cecil going to pick the winner out of a hat?
I think Amanda is the cockatoo of choice.
Okay.
He's the first one if we can get to do it, and then we'll try some of the others. I may just put some pieces of paper into something and just try to get him to get used to grabbing something. But start with the big guy, and we'll work our way through a crew of birds. I'm sure Cecil would pick it up, but I'm not sure if we'd be able to read the numbers once he did.
Yeah.
And we'd have to go through however many there are and find the one that's missing. Right, Cecil? You talking about me? You talking about me? I hope he picks up 2 toys, because if he's only got 1, I'm going to be the other toy. Cecil. Oh, you want over? All right. If she only makes 1 or 2 little beeps, that means she wants me to pick her up. Get her over here. Hey, baby. Right? Where did Romeo go? Oh, you're not in charge of Romeo? Yeah, oh, he's up there. There he is. Hi, Rom. It was on my shoulder, stretching his neck with the intent. I can't pet you when I have someone on my hand. With the intent of getting me to pet him. So whenever I stop petting him, he's pulling out my hair. I think he's learning from Sugar.
Well, look how snuggly Jasmine is.
How you doing, kid?
What a good girl.
So today we have in chat Lisa. Hello, Lisa. Jocelyn, Michelle. And I thought I saw Erin beforehand, so I think she might join. Good to see you all. Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
And Michelle wants to know how all the birds are doing.
Hmm.
Hello,
Lorelei,
beautiful.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was basically finished. I was just mumbling. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do that too. Lorelei's picked up some weight. We're waiting for it's going to be another couple of days before we get the lab work back. So she's at 570. She was down as low as 530. So she's picking up weight. She's showing an interest in food. She hasn't pulled any feathers yet. I took her off Haldol just because Haldol suppresses the appetite a little bit. So I figured take her off that. Maybe she'd eat more, but not going to eat the watch. You've already scratched it beyond belief. You don't need to eat it. Now, Pippa is still sitting on eggs, and I just need to get her into a different cage because so she gets a grate underneath her. She's going to keep doing this, and she will hold her poop as long as she can, and then it comes out a big mess. So the weight's okay. She's not making any more eggs, but hey, stop trying to get my hand, you little toad. Stop it. Just gonna get the one hand I have in the pocket where I can keep it warm with my little hand heater. Are you gonna steal that from Bob? Don't steal it from Bob. Bob's playing with a pine cone. You don't have to steal it. So let's see. Causy's been getting into, she's started, because it's mating season, she's starting to get a little territorial. She has already made a couple of attacks. She tried to get Lorelei and ended up hurting herself. And of course, she had that fight with Bob. So now, whenever I'm going to move around in here in any way, shape, or form, I put her in the bucket, because I don't want her to get hurt. And if I'm out of the way, even moved just a little bit, she'll start getting aggressive. Where do you want to sit? Okay. All right, Cecil. Everybody else is doing pretty well. Acting a little bit of stereotypic behavior from Snowball because he's in a small cage and he's not happy about it. So he gets in the corner and he strobes the bars. The bar strobing is stereotypic behavior, which is neuroses bordering on psychosis. So Romeo does fine when he's out here. He's not happy about being confined and so close to the other birds, but that's why he likes being out here, I think. He's not confined. He can get away from them, at least out here.
He likes it. It's a super huge cage. He just doesn't prefer. He wants the other birds out so he can be there alone.
Yeah, he likes his big 507 Euro style King's cage. That's what he likes. Stop it. Leave my foot alone. Stop it. Now what you're gonna do.
So now A Beautiful Life is in chat. Hello. And Elisabetha Oakwhite. Hello and welcome. Then Falcon Sue joined us and Erin is here. So hello.
Sue. Hi, Erin. Cecil he's still doing the beak open thing that he's been doing ever since Peaches died. So I don't know. It's also mating season, so he's got that issue going for him. Hi, beautiful. You want back over here? Is that what you want? Okay, come on.
Oh, how sweet. Baby Manda gets his brain.
Yeah, Mander comes over quick like that. Cecil doesn't have a problem, but when he does that to Bob, Bob runs away. Bob thinks he's going to impress him. All he wants to do is get preened, and there's no way to explain that to Bob. So I've tried lots of different visuals to get him to, and telling him it's okay, and he just looks at me like, I'll make my own decision on that. Well, I'm glad I wasn't under that one. I know, sugar. Babaloo is doing okay. He's probably going to need another stitch in a month or two. Now he's going to the bathroom. He's showing, he's showing the signs where it bulges out quite a bit, but not so much that it needs a stitch. And we want to limit the number of stitches because once we can't do that anymore, then we're forced to do the major surgery. And longer Jenkins is going to be around. He's getting up there. He likes doing what he does, but he's the one that developed that surgery. And after that, I don't know. If we're in Vegas, we'll have 3 different vets, and one of them is bound to know how to do that surgery. I hope. If not, we'll have to travel to get it done. But you got to have a nurse / anesthesiologist there to do the work, and it takes quite a while. So, right, Bob? He goes, nope. And what are you doing? That Pip? Yeah, she's fine. Her weight and everything is fine, but she's not eating right. She's gulping her food down at once or twice a day, and it's causing her to have really horrible poop. Comes out real watery, and she's drinking more water than eating food. So, but she's maintaining her weight. So, and Lucy's doing well, aren't you? She's doing okay. She keeps trying to get out of her cage though, because even she doesn't like being in a 32-inch cage. It's like, no, it's too small. I got a big cage. Where is it? But it's a little nippy until you get her out of the cage. She kind of like she's trapped in there, and she doesn't. I don't know. She doesn't know what she wants to do. When she's out though, she's just the usual sweet little Lucy. Right, Luce? Right, baby? I don't think I cleaned my optics. There we go. See, Jazz is... Everybody's down a little bit. I've taken them down. Almost everybody's down a notch on their medicine. And I'm trying to see with Jasmine how far I can take her. Just 1 notch a week, 0.01 a week. Stop it. Let go. No. You stop it. Oh, pest. Quit messing with my stuff. Bear with me a second while I take this off, because that's my reminder about Peaches, and you're going to break it. I can see what you're going to do with it, so let's not have that. No, you're not going in there for it either. Oops. There you are. You're not going in there for it either. No. I don't think you know what that word means. I don't think. Yeah, he does know what it means. He just doesn't care right now. Yeah. Oh, you're going to take the dregs? Bob's not happy about that. I've got to order more pine cones. Fortunately, Instagram coughed up just enough to buy pine cones. So,
well, Michelle says that some of her contacts have donated, and A Beautiful Life has sent us a snail mail. So thank you to both of you guys. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to help Sugar get beak pets.
Sugar, you want beak pets? Do you?
And like and subscribe so that Cosy can afford a deed poll to change her name to Tyler Durden.
I can't get that turtle out of my mind. That turtle is so cute.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
adorable.
This class animals, they are cute.
Well, I saw it and immediately thought of Peaches.
Yeah, Marie, you'll have to go back and buy more of them.
Beep, 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 beep.
Oops, sorry, Bob. Didn't mean to bump you. Here. You want it back here? I didn't mean to make you drop it. That's the way I think. He went after my little peaches band on my arm, and I put it away. My watch is still on my wrist, so you know which one means more to me. I hear you.
I wonder if they think that the smaller beads look peachy. Wonder if it looks the same color to them. Always wondered about that.
Mm.
Well, Dr. Pepperberg did that work with Alex, and and at first when she would say how many orange, she didn't call them triangles, just 3-sided, 4-sided. That's the way she taught him, so he could relate to sides. But he'd say, how many orange triangles are there? There'd be like 3 of them down there, and he'd say 2, and the reason was they were not all painted the exact same color of orange. So she literally had to paint everything so that the colors were uniform, because their idea of orange is probably like 20 different varieties of orange. So he was looking down going, that isn't the color you're asking about. So I'm not going to count that one. Hey, let go of my ear. No, we're not doing that.
So we just received 2 donations in chat, one from Erin. She says, for the lovely dinosaurs at the Chloe Sanctuary, and one from Diane F, who just sent a cute sticker. So thank you both, very much appreciated.
Thank you. In fact, I'll send you Cecil so you can live with him for a couple of weeks. No, I'm just kidding. You just wanted Cecil to come for a visit so he could attack your ears, right, Cecil? I don't know about you, Cecil. That looks dirty. How did that thing get dirty? Well, imagine rolling it around on the ground, huh? Hmm. Cecil, standing on the phone is not the best of all options. Oops. Come on, reverse there. Yeah, Jazzy, she doesn't like being in the middle of the room, and you know that because she keeps going around, and what I'm doing, since it's so tight in that room, I'll be doing something, and the next thing I'll know, I'll feel my clothing being pulled as she's biting it and pulling it into her cage. Then she'll give me that look like, get me out of here. She's figured out how to open the door on her cage, so I had to figure a new way to lock it. What are you doing down there?
Oh my, did I see it right? Shuggy was playing.
Oh, I think she was eating the rope.
Oh no, that's not allowed.
Don't eat the rope, Shug.
She knows she's not supposed to do that too. She knows I've hung things up here that she can chew on. So.
I thought she chewed on a toy, right? Or what is she doing back there? Chewing on a toy or on the...
That's the toy. That's a palm.
Okay, that's fine. I thought it was a rope. Sorry for the false alarm.
No. That's I need to be alerted of that because I don't want her choking on the other. She knows she can chew on that, so I've hung those around. There's a bunch of them around here now, so that wherever she goes, her usual spots.
The Koski is inside, right? Because we just got a new member. Welcome, Sabrina Smith. She joined as a Kosi Guardian, so welcome, and make sure you see all our special things for members. And thank you for joining.
Welcome, Sabrina.
Yeah, welcome. Check out our raffle too. That's unique stuff. It's the turtle that's really got my attention, but I like the boat too, or the ark, I should call it. But come here.
And I think the peaches and sugar sweets is pretty adorable as well.
What was that?
I like the kind of candies. They are not soft, but they taste really, really good. And it's fun to see them, how they make it. They make it live at the market. So that's really fun to watch how they made live candies.
Mm.
Yeah,
I
anybody
think
who's
you need to be pretty strong to make these sugary things because they are pretty tough to form. So
who's
it's really hard. Like our sugar,
made,
tough girl.
made that kind of candy knows how hard it is. I've made candy like that. So, well, not like that, but I've made candy. I'm done everything from divinity to caramel to real fudge, not the stuff they use to make in the U.S. where they throw in marshmallow cream. It's like, what? That's not fudge, but yeah, hard work.
So Sabrina is writing in chat. She is glad that she has found our channel, and she has just added a 8-year-old umbrella cockatoo to her vlog, and she's catching up with our videos. So thank you and welcome again. I think Don is really happy when he always likes to hear that people like his videos and find it helpful.
Nope, come on, get away from him.
Yeah.
Why do you go
We
up there?
hope you enjoy them.
Jazz, when are you going to learn? She keeps going up to Salamander and asking him to preen her, and then she tries to snip at her.
It's another Moluccan preen standoff. It's like, you preen me, no, you preen me, no, you preen me, no, you preen me.
And we don't have one of them that can preen the other. You know, not the Moluccans. They don't preen. They want to be preened, but they don't do it. It's like, beneath my station, I don't do that. It's not that reason, of course. It's because they weren't trained to when they were young. But
I think in general, it seems like the Moluccans are a bit more standoffish than the umbrellas anyway, so I think they're less likely to figure it out. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just kind of the impression I get from these guys, but I might be quite wrong.
no, in general, that's the case. They are not. I mean, they're still cuddly, but they're not as cuddly. I mean, if I put Lucy up on my chest, she'll stay there. She'll just like attach and stay. Where if I do that with any of the, well, I won't do that with Sugar because she won't let me. But she'll look at me like, "What are you doing?" We don't do that. But any of the other ones, they'll stay there for no more than a couple of minutes, and they're gone. They're off somewhere. So I
And
can do this.
Yeah, even Peaches, if you weren't hugging her the right way, sometimes she'd go off in a huff and do something else.
Yep. You had to give her your undivided attention or she'd leave.
That's how she was. That was our Peach.
Hey, baby.
Oh, Susie Q's here. So hello, Susie.
Hi, Susie Q. Yeah, there was somebody on Facebook who was talking to me about, a bird that's been diagnosed, whether or not it's true, it's hard to say, is having metal toxicity. And like, they're asking, well, what can be done about that? That's like saying, what can you do if you've been run over by a car? That, as far as we know, the birds in that case are no different. Metal toxicity stays in your body and it doesn't go away. Now, it seems like with Pippa, she's overcome a lot of it because she had lead in her gut and they had, I think of his name now. Begins with an A, an N, but and he's a good doctor. He had to surgically remove the lead from her esophagus. So,
That's right. That's right.
but she's talking. Her behavior is improving, but I just don't believe it's anything. We have no evidence, even with the so-called chelation theory that everybody talks about, that process that you can remove this metal from the body. Once it gets inside the cells, that's where it stays. And a lot of it goes into the brain. So with Pippa, though, I don't think it damaged her brain much. I don't think it got in there. She's probably had some other problems she's had to work through, but maybe they got it out in time.
I think Pippa's just a misunderstood genius.
Yeah, maybe. She's so smart. She really is. But when you have metal toxicity, and there was a lot of talk about it back in the old days because they were putting, especially in white cages, powder coating had lead in it, but the birds that chewed on that were few and far between. I mean, birds don't normally chew on bars. It's just not something they do. So occasionally you may have a bird do that. But then again, if they're taking the paint in, that not really paint, but if they're taking that stuff in them, it doesn't digest well. So it's going to come out, and it's probably not going to cause toxicity. Dr. Young said he only has ever seen metal toxicity in a bird that has swallowed a large piece of metal. So unless they swallow something like that, it's probably not metal toxicity. And the way that Jenkins and Young look for metal toxicity is x-rays. So, hey, no, leave him alone. Oh, he's on
We
his...
received another donation by Norway 178. Thank you so much, Norway, for your donation. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So, with something like metal toxicity, I mean, you have to use that line from terms of endearment, where the doctor says, "Well, I tell people to hope for the best and prepare for the worst." Hope doesn't mean a heck of a lot when you've got metal toxicity. So, but then again, it's a rare condition, according to Dr. Young. You hardly ever see it, and according to Dr. Jenkins, that's what they used to look for in birds that were feather destructive. If they were mutilating themselves or pulling their feathers out. He doesn't even look for it anymore because it almost never happens. I mean, and then you can see it in the x-rays because metal's going to show up in the x-rays, a piece of metal. But the tiny bit that you would get from chewing on a white cage that was built back in the early 90s, isn't going to be enough to cause that kind of toxicity. You know better. You know better than going up to him. Why do you do it? You know what they say about insanity? It's doing the same thing and expecting different results. Stop it. No. Give me a break. Cecil's in Cecil Hyde mode here. Now, if you want to hit me, that's fine. I don't mind. Come on down here. That way I can get her to, okay, she's moving. Stay away from him. This is the problem with not bringing in the items that he uses to nest. If he's nesting, he's only going to torture me. If he doesn't have a nest in here, he's going to torture everyone. So I got to be careful with that. But he was getting just too territorial, and it was becoming dangerous. Bob,
That's right.
Right. She's just falling. She's not trying to get you. Get over here. She's not trying to mess with you. She's not. She's just sitting there. See? She was falling.
She's a good girl.
That reminds me of my second wife, she was in the bathtub and I was shaving, and I look over and she's got a slight lean to her. Yeah, well, I stopped for a minute. I'm looking at her like she keeps slightly leaning a little bit more. We're talking about slow motion, right? I said, "What are you doing?" And she says, "I'm falling." I mean, she fell, hurt herself because she fell slowly. I've never seen anything quite like it. It was like watching a slow motion film. And I said,
was she fainting, or was she just, did she just lose
lost
her balance and didn't want to pick herself up?
She lost her balance and couldn't get it back. So she just kept leaning. And once I realized she was okay, and I started laughing after I was getting her out of the tub, and she's like, "What are you laughing at?" I said, "That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. You're not hurt, so now it's just funny." But not endearing moment though. But I couldn't help myself. It was so bizarre. But that's basically what this one here was, falling down my legs. She kind of lost her grip because these pants aren't easy to grip onto. So Bob, of course, the great social expert, mistakes everything that's going on around him. He assumes that they're after him. Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they aren't out to get you. That's his philosophy. So he gets all, and the thing is, if she really went for him, he'd just run the other way. He'd be scared to death. Thank you. It's just what I needed. I needed you to bat the phone. Thank you. Thank you.
Says no problem, Dad.
Silly boy. Why do you only have one toy? Isn't that kind of a lazy man's way of doing it, or a lazy parrot's way of doing something? Usually you have two toys.
Mm. So Norway says, thank you for all what you do for these sweet birds.
Oh,
Sweet
well, thank
birds. What sweet birds?
Look at that sweet Cecil and sweet Bob. Yeah,
They're
there's
monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking with Dr. Young when I took Lorelei down to get the CBC and the gram stains, and he was saying that everywhere he's looking, you don't see cockatoos for sale anymore. He said you see a lot of other birds, mostly small birds. You don't see the cockatoos. He says you see a few Amazons and lots of conures and that kind of thing. He says, but it's becoming rare to see that. I said, good. We don't need to be selling these guys. And I said, there really isn't anything wrong with them. If you understand them, you can deal with them easily. And he goes, yeah, that's the hard part, is understanding their behavior well enough to be able to work with it. I'm not saying I fully understand cockatoo behavior. I'm not that crazy, but
Yeah, I mean, the trouble is they just don't really belong in people's houses. It's just not right for them.
no. And because they're not raised by their parents, because they can't, these breeders try to do that in a small area. The birds will destroy their eggs. So that's when it started, according to Dr. Jenkins. That's when he started seeing all these birds with the torn out feathers, is when they were being raised in incubators. And it's pretty obvious why. If you don't get these basic steps in your development don't happen, then you have issues. And they don't even know what they are. They were raised by humans inside of an incubator. They come out and they see these humans, and that's what they're imprinting on. And it doesn't work well. And this guy,
they're kind of confused about what species they even are.
and this one here, when I got him, I mean, he didn't even look like a real bird. I mean, you guys, be nice. She's not going to train you. Good luck.
Well, luck in trouble.
Mm.
Yeah,
See,
Jasmine's trying to get preened by everybody. She's desperate.
It's the Jasmine who say, preen me, Shook.
Yeah.
Well, that's not going to work, is it?
No, Sugar's got that look on her face like, what is this? I don't get it. Sugar, what are you doing,
That's
babe?
funny.
See, if only they'd figure it out, then they could have a
They are the
beautiful
same
friendship.
species, but
Gently.
is-
Jazz, no. Let go. She started preening, and then she doesn't know what she's doing, so she's pulling too hard on the feathers. Jazz, I can't believe
he
even
starts
tried to-
preening the Shook, and Shook is like, what are you doing?
Jasmine, stop. Jazz, no.
Well, the trouble is, you don't want anyone pulling Sugar's feathers too hard in case it triggers a mutilation episode.
Yeah.
Because you know how Sugar is.
Oh
Jasmine,
my.
You
Jazzy.
girls.
Jazz, no. Jazz, no. Jasmine, no.
Look at Sugar.
Oh my
Help me,
goodness.
Dad.
That's technically negative punishment. I'm taking away her balance. That's the negative part, removing something. And punishment because I'm trying to reduce or extinguish a behavior. No, Jasmine, stop it. Hey, cut it out. Sugar, don't just sit there. Good girl, Jazz. Good girl.
Sugar's like, what's wrong when I'm sitting here?
I wasn't doing anything. I'm just sitting here.
Yeah, she's doing nothing wrong. Just being the Shook,
Mm.
sitting at the cockatoo crossway, blocking traffic.
No,
Yeah.
that's what she does.
And as a guess, I would say that Jazz was trying to actually preen her and to get her to preen back. That was my but then got a little too animated because she wasn't getting a response, and she wasn't going to get a response from Sugar.
But getting a response from Sugar is really difficult.
Yeah, unless you're somebody who looks like they may be coming to.
The thing with Sugar, she has a hard time knowing how to bird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she doesn't know how to human either. So
Nope.
she is just herself, I think.
I would like to get her back in a bigger cage because you can see how she's got discoloration in her feathers here. From that cage is big enough for a conure maybe, but not for her. That's her old night cage that she's in. So.
Blah, 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 blah. Who was that? Pippa.
Yep, that was the Pip Pip.
Pip.
It was announcing her
Pip.
that down, weren't you, girl?
Mm.
Yeah, so for the bird that supposedly has metal toxicity, if there's no metal in her, I doubt it. So I would say it's a misdiagnosis.
Doesn't it also depend on what kind of metal it is? Because I mean, things like titanium and stainless steel, I mean, they use those in implants, so that presumably is safe to be in your body.
Yeah, that wouldn't, depending. Yeah, it's not going to cause toxicity, that's for sure. Yeah, lead and zinc are the two things that, I mean, there's other things too, but lead and zinc are the most common because we use zinc to coat a lot of objects, to protect the weather. So, but even still, I mean, Dr. Young that's with the Zoological Society for 7 years. So, he saw a lot of animals that were in confined areas with wires around them that might have been chewing on those, and he never saw any signs of metal toxicity except for the animals that actually managed to get a piece of metal in them. So, and Jenkins doesn't look for it anymore. So, I mean, there's signs. There's certain signs that might indicate it, but he doesn't see them. So. Seems to me like a veterinarian grasping for straws, but I'd like to see the lab work myself before I.
Oh, look at that shuggy bird.
Mm.
Oh my, you're looking good, Shug.
She is looking.
She's a pretty girl.
Yeah, she is. She's a sweetheart too. What are you doing, Bob? Yeah, I know. I have to order pine cones today. Since we have to order.
I think these cockatoos were the nightmare of every German Christmas market, especially Cecil, because there's a lot of wooden work, and he would go in and shoot the whole market down in 5 minutes. Like, look at all this wooden toys. Chew, chew, chew. Not break.
Wouldn't take him long to destroy all that stuff. He can do a 2x4 in about an hour. That's 6 foot long. Turn it into toothpicks. When he's in the mood, it's not like he chews on 2x4s all the time. But if he gets in the mood and you put like part of a 2x4 in there, it turns into toothpicks.
Oh, why? Bring me,
What is that?
And Amanda says, bring me, not the shook bird. Oh, guys, come on. And Jessie's back there and says, I want to bring, but no one lets me.
Oh.
Oh.
She's like, I tried to help.
Cockatoo's being silly.
Don't try to get that. I know what you're doing.
Oh, yes, Spirettas, right. Chipped wood is a bird glitter. Yeah, I think that they just are super proud when they see that bunch of chewed wood on the floor.
Yeah.
Pine cones are popular right now. I may have one left. I gotta order 100 of them today. They last a couple of months. You know, and at what are they? $1.25 a piece. That's reasonable. They last a long time. It takes Cecil about, oh, he'll use a pine. He doesn't intentionally destroy the whole thing. So he fits one end of it, the fat end. He trims it down to where it fits perfect in his beak. Then he goes around and beats me with it, or he beats other birds with it. Then eventually he'll chew it up about halfway down, and then Bob will finish it off. But Bob will go for the fresh ones too if he can get a hold of one. He likes pine cones. Don't you, Bob? Don't you, big boy? Hmm?
Ooh.
Oh, you.
Ooh.
I don't want to break the moment, so I'm not gonna get the camera in their face there too long. Because if I film too much of this, he'll stop. And she worked hard to get him to do it, so.
Spirit Matter wants to know if it is safe to offer pine cones to parrots.
Yeah, you just want to make sure that they were grown somewhere where they didn't use a lot of poison. Like when they in these farms they have for Christmas trees, you don't want to use any pine cones from those areas. I get mine from Premium Pine Cones, and they have their own little forest around there, and they collect them, and then they put them in the oven to get rid of all the bugs and all that stuff. They wash them and put them in the big oven. So, and they sell them in I think like 50s and 100s. I never bought 50. I always buy 100, but shipping costs being what they are, buy in volume if you can. You know, so. And I think it's $125 for 100, and that includes shipping. So that's actually not bad. If it hasn't changed, I haven't bought any since before the move, so it's been far too long. That's why they haven't had as many pine cones as they would like. What have you got there? You don't chew on feathers. Yuck. There you go. Yeah, she's still got him conned. He's looking at me, so I can't turn the camera up there.
Oh, Bob is being a good boy.
Bob, Bob.
Oh, poor Bob, getting another stitch probably soon. Poor baby.
Yeah, I had to give him Haldol because he doesn't like being stuck in that small cage in the corner, but taking him down a notch, and he's doing fine, and he's only getting it once a day now, so he's starting to get used to the fact that he's stuck in that cage. I don't know what he'll do when he gets back into his big one. That's something I have to do. We got some toy parts in, so I got to do the unboxing on video. So,
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Everyone loves an unboxing video.
Unboxing with Cecil.
Oh,
Or unboxing of.
Oh yeah, Bob will be tearing everything up. Oh, there's a bag. Let me open it for you. I can see Bob doing that. Right, Bob?
Babaloo.
So I'll be unboxing the toys, which is most of it's actually wood because they've been burning through wood so much. So 743 parts of wood mostly. I guess probably there's 20 of those little cardboard things that are too expensive, but Salamander loves them, so I got him 20 of those. He likes one in the morning, and I know there's a few other things I'll need to order, so he likes one in the morning before he gets his breakfast. Takes him about 5 minutes to turn it into nothing but cardboard powder. But he looks at me like, aren't you going to give me one of those every morning? And you can hand him a piece of cardboard, and he looks at you like, I guess I might have to. So I've been giving him just pieces of boxes because we have stuff come in, and I just cut the safe boxes, the part without tape, the part without, if it's got colored ink on it, I don't give it to him. I just give him the cardboard part. But I much prefer him to have his little toy that he likes. Then he gets cups. He likes the Dixie cups, and he likes the bowls and plates to play with. He chews those up too. Not much for chewing wood. He does a little of it, but he's mostly cardboard. Where sugar is mostly wood. Cecil is 99% wood.
I think sugar is mostly wine.
Yeah, sugar wine.
Spirit Matter wants to know if you've watched any good movies with the birds lately.
The last movie I sat down in their room and watched with them, which I still have to work on the phone a little bit, was The Hidden, which is an old sci-fi movie, which has got a little bit of humor mixed in with it. But
and there's a question from Sabrina as well. So his question for those who have adopted cockatoos, have you had success in changing their names? So I think that's a good question. That's very interesting.
Yeah, I've had to do it in some cases. If a bird comes from an environment where it wasn't particularly, or they're being called by their name, but there was a lot of negativity involved. Like with Romeo, I can call him Romeo now, but for a long time I called him Roman. I got him away from that name because they were mistreating him where he was. So, and then
yeah, Salamander used to be called something else.
Yeah, he had another name, and it was the same reason I changed his name. So yeah, they know their new names, and it's close enough. You want to pick something close enough to the old name, but enough to be differentiated. Cecil was, they were just naming the birds with 2 letters, right? So he was CC. And then when we first got him, we were told he was female, and the reason they got rid of him is because he wasn't breeding. Well, he turns out male, of course. So of course he wasn't going to be laying eggs. But so they called him Cece. So I call him, and you'll see that in that video I did from the old days, way back. You'll hear somebody being called CC. That's him. You'll hear him also being called Cecilia. And then once I got the DNA back, although I pretty much suspected he was male by some of his behaviors, tail flashing, beak rubbing, the things you would expect a male to do. But then he became Cecil. So, but again, that CC sound is still in there. And Salamander is a similar thing. His former name had the.
Well, I can write it in the chat if you don't want to say it.
Yeah, that'll work.
And Jasmine didn't have a name, as far as we know.
Yeah,
Well, she didn't know it anyway.
No, you called her and she didn't react. Now she does. Jasmine. Yeah, you. What are you doing?
Oh, Goth42 says CC could also be crazy cockatoo.
Yeah. Yeah, these.
Hi, by the way.
That there was that Sally Blowhard as well. I don't even remember what her name was. She's passed away now, but she was one of those people that said because she'd had birds all of her, for a long time, she knew everything you need to know. That's like saying I've been driving a car for 40 years, right? Yeah, and I'm an auto mechanic. Now I forgot where I was going with that. That's not unusual. What was I going to say? My mother would say it must have been a lie. I don't remember now.
We were talking about bird names.
Yeah. I don't know why I was bringing her into it, but yeah, they will learn to be called pretty much anything, but if you stick to something close. it was a little harder with, I think, with Jasmine, because like you say, I don't think she knew she had a name. So maybe there was some other name she'd been called, but she knows now when you say Jasmine, and she knows that if she makes that long, similar sound to Peaches, that she's going to get praised for it. She's going to get secondary reinforcement, in this case, praise. And she knows what Jazzy Jazzbird means. That's another name she has. They most have a name and a at least one or two other little pseudonyms to go with it.
Yeah. Like Lorelei knows she's called Lorelei, but she prefers to be called Baby Girl.
Yeah, that happened down at the vet. The one of the vet techs said, "Oh, baby girl, it's all right." And I said, "Well, she's going to appreciate you calling her that." She goes, "Why?" I said, "Because she thinks her name is Baby Girl." So Lorelei perked right up when she called her Baby Girl.
No.
Sweetie. Oh,
Yeah.
Manda.
She's not
Come on,
exactly a baby anymore, but
Yeah, she's a grown-up baby girl.
yep. She still thinks of herself as the baby girl, though.
And that's a baby Manda.
Yeah, a baby Manda. And Lucy thinks her name is Pretty Bird.
Bird. Yeah, actually, that's her phrase for "I want." Like Roman's is "I love you." Hers is Pretty Bird. But she comes over.
Spirit posted some popcorn emojis in the chat, so I think Lucy is now on the way.
Yeah, she is the popcorn girl.
Oh, look at the sugar yawn.
Oh, Cecil got her.
Oh my, yeah.
Oh, look at Cecil. He's in a Moroccan sandwich.
Yep. Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh, so Sabrina's cockatoo is called Hogwarts.
Oh no.
That's a funny name for a bird. Yeah, you can change that. What about Higgins or Higgs boson?
Oh, that would be cool.
What else begins with H?
Herbert.
Herbert, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to come up with something that's in between. The only thing I could come up with is a sandwich, a hoagie. But I wouldn't want to call him that. Well, if it starts out with the same two, HO, it's probably gonna.
Oh yeah, Howard.
Howard might work. Yeah.
Hawthorne, although it's not really a boy's name, it's more of a gender neutral name. But it depends how you feel about animals having human names, I guess. Because some people are funny about it and some people aren't, so it just depends.
You could use the last part of the name too, but I can't think of anything there. It was easy with Cecil because just two C's. It was Cecil, Cecilia. Those all made sense.
Oh yeah, Hawk is a good suggestion. Hawkins. Hawkins. Oh, the Conyers are called Whiskey and Kahlua, so we could go with an alcohol theme. So, what goes with Hooch?
I think Pippa disagrees with us all and says just name him Steve.
Well, that's easy for Pippa to say.
Steve is a good solid name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sabrina's as Pippa is our female Triton cockatoo, and she is really into Steve Jobs and all about Apple. So there was this Steve Jobs poster in the main bird room when she was flying constantly in it. So, and always when we start talking about something related to Apple or Yeah, there she is. So Apple always keeps going. She's like, that's right, that's right, that's right.
That's
I love
right.
it.
That's
So
fun.
That's
You
right,
start
I
that's
don't
right.
know
talking
about
it
it,
is.
but she loves it. She also loves to sit with Don in front of the computer and doing stuff. She's our Pippa tech support pip when something is going wrong.
Oh yeah, she's very good at fixing things when they break. That's our Pip.
Pip, pip.
Oh, Spirit says Homer's a good choice of name. Homer's
Yeah,
funny.
Homer's good. Harley,
And
Harlow.
Holly is also really nice bird name. But I think the choice comes up to you. And I think when you try it a little bit with your bird, and so you know it best, and then I don't know, you have then the feeling for what's the right name.
Yeah, when you get to know them and also see what kind of things they like if you say certain words and they seem to like it, then they might want to be called that.
Yeah, and if you start out with the old name, and then this is how I did it with Cecil, because he didn't really know much. And the same thing with Salamander, is that I started out with the name they'd been called, and in a about this level, and then I came in with much lower sound. I'd say, like Cecil, Cecil, and then over time it became Cecil, and then actually in his case I was doing Cecilia, so I had to break that. But yeah, the point is you start with the name they're used to as the loudest sound, and the secondary sound is lower, the one you're trying to teach them, and then you slowly reverse that to where you're saying their old name quietly and the new name loudly, and then they make the association. It helps to make the association. But you may be able to do it really quick. You might be able to do that for 2 days and they drop the old name. So it depends on the bird. So
yeah, if they like it and they want to change names, then they might do it instantly.
And it also would help if you call them by the name they know, and then don't produce a treat in your hand, and then you bait them. That's what we call it when you have a treat, whatever treat you use to train. You bait them, right? So when you call them by the other name directly after, you produce the treat. So they eventually recognize that name draws treats, and it becomes more interesting to them.
So Warm Fuzzy Wife is in the chat, and she's asking a question. Did someone who had a chick, I don't know if she misspelled something, if it died someone who had a chick, or I didn't get the question. Sorry, Warm Fuzzy Vibes. Can you write it again in the chat, please? And then what do we have? Sabrina, who says she likes that with the Steve Jobs poster. Yeah, I think there are some videos on. Maybe we can do a short of it or something where Pippa is flying into Steve. She loves Steve. And we have our first participant in the raffle.
Oh,
yeah,
that's exciting.
Just was writing in chat, and it I see it here. It has worked. So the form is working on the web page, and yeah, I hope we get some more participants, and then Salamander can choose the winner.
Fabulous.
So
Well,
we also make sure that there is no related that when someone who donates early has lesser chance than someone who donates later or something. We will mix it beforehand thoroughly. We do it in a box and then let Cecil shake it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So Warm Fuzzy says, why the conversation about H names? Well, it's because Sabrina has a cockatoo that she's rescued whose name is Hogwarts, but it doesn't like the name and wants to change it. So we were trying to think of things that sounded similar. Although Lorelei used to be called Bella.
There's the other side of it too. If the bird sticks to that name, just get used to it. I know a lot of people too get a bird that cusses and they don't like it. To the bird, those are not cuss words. To the bird, the name Hogwarts is just what it's called. It doesn't associate it with being anything but I'm being requested. You know, it's their way of being called. So if there is a problem and you have trouble changing the name, just stick with it. It's just a name, you know. I can't actually say some of the names that my father used to call me, but they actually didn't affect me because he didn't mean it in a mean way. So he had some pet names for me that most people are horrified when they hear what they were. But didn't mean it in a bad way, and it's all in how you look at things. So
I think some names just don't suit people though.
Huh?
Some names just don't suit people though. Like, you know how you see people and you think, oh yeah, that name fits you. For some people it doesn't. So I guess it's kind of the same for birds.
Yeah. But you have to go with what is most important to them. So I think you shouldn't have trouble changing it, but don't let it bug you if you can't. Remember, it's just a set of sounds to a bird, and something they associate to it. And it really makes me upset when people teach their birds to say things that limit the number of people who can take care of them, because there are some people who are like, I don't want a bird that says this word. You know, well, it doesn't know what the word means. So I think the worst thing you can teach a bird to say is come in. That's probably the worst thing you can teach, you know, because somebody's knocking at the door and they go, come in. You're not going to eat the phone. You're not.
Well, I think one of Marlene McCohen's birds can say, okay, thanks, bye in her voice. So if she's ever on the phone and wants to leave, then the bird is just like, okay, thanks, bye.
That's funny when parrots pick up such kind of phrases.
There was a guy, actually, he was in England, and I saw the video of it, but he fortunately had a camera outside his house, so he filmed it as the police came up, and they wanted to see who he was torturing in the house, so he brought out the double yellow-headed Amazon that was saying, help me, help me.
I think usually the double-headed Amazon would be the one doing the torturing rather than being tortured.
True.
Oh, there's Eliza Wings is in the chat. Welcome. And she says she has a girl named Snowbird, I think.
Oh, Snowbird.
Snowbird.
So we have some snowball here in the flock.
Yeah, and his second name that he knows well is Snowbird. So that's one of his nicknames is Snowbird.
Yeah.
Just like Jazz is, Jasmine, sorry, Cecil, I didn't know you were down there trying to eat my shoe.
And obviously this girl is also Toka. She likes to say hello, like Peaches, and I love you in different ways. How sweet.
Nope.
So Rico used to be called Squawker. I think Rico is a much better name.
Absolutely. I love the name Rico. It also fits really well for a parrot.
And that's a bird that a mafia Don wouldn't want. Right? The act against the mafia. So it's all a matter of perspective. I don't want a bird named Rico, okay? I got my reasons. What? Oh, you always do this. We're about ready to go in, and you do this.
Pretty bird.
Pretty bird o'clock.
Yeah. All right, pretty bird. You want to say pretty bird first? Say pretty bird. Say pretty bird. It's almost time for us to go. So you have to say pretty bird.
If someone wants a clock with Sugar saying it's feed me o'clock, then you might want to go to our merch and check it out.
That's super cute.
If you go to our website,
it's pretty bird o'clock.
If you go to our website, you'll see on the tabs at the top, you'll see the raffle there, so you can check it out. And also our new merch store is there on the, which I did out. I wanted to, I kept it kind of turned off until I got out here, and then I realized it's really difficult to make website changes out here when you're talking about changing the order of pages. Like I had to do it 6 or 7 times before I got it right. on a small screen. All I needed to do was click a button that says, this can be seen now. And I was moving stuff around and like, oh man, I feel like, like a monkey with 3 bananas. If you've ever seen what happens when they have a banana in each hand, they won't take the third one and they don't know what to do. A cockatoo would know what to do if you had 3 of something at once. Believe me, Bob would probably stuff them behind his feathers.
Talking about you, Bob.
He doesn't have a problem taking more. If you have something he likes, he will find a place to park it. Won't you? Well, thank you all for coming. It's time for us to go. I got to let my volunteers go to sleep because they're living like in the dark country right now.
The dark country.
It's the dark country because it's daylight over here, but it's not daylight over there. So,
Well, it's 9:15 at night, so I mean that's fair enough.
yeah.
Scotland's so dark.
Thank you, Anna Marie, and thank you, Eleanor, for your help.
And thank you, Don, for the stream.
Yeah.
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 So lovely to watch the birds.
And thank you, viewers, for showing up.
Yeah, thank you for being here with us.
We will see you on Wednesday. Wednesday is the next meeting. So bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, you're the host now, Mary.
Oh no. Will the video stop? Or did Don just forget? Because I think I just ended.